In this little video, I'm going to show you the unboxing and the provisioning of this Dell PowerEdge R210 second gen server. So, for further ado. Now, this was an interesting package. It came in the middle of February, one of the more coldest winters we've had in recent memory. And so the box is ice cold. And just look at that box. I've never seen a server packed that tight. And yeah, the server is a little small. And just I was shocked how tightly packed and how effective, and there's no problems with it. So good to know. And I like today, in this little video, I'm going to show you the unboxing and the provisioning of this Dell PowerEdge R210 second gen server. So, for further ado. Now, this was an interesting package. It came in the middle of February, one of the more coldest winters we've had in recent memory. And so the box is ice cold. And just look at that box. I've never seen a server packed that tight. And yeah, the server is a little small. And I was shocked how tightly packed and how effective, and there's no problems with it. So good to know. And I like good packaging that's environmentally sustainable, because you know I'm a greenie guy like that. In the world of alpha bros and tech, call me a soy boy. As I continue to open this wonderful find. And it's because this package is so small than what I'm expecting. I'm just being very careful in how I'm opening it. And now I got the box open. Oh yeah, there's a CCNA book. I thought it would be a good prop to hold it on for the camera, where the lab was at that time. Alright, now I got it out of the box. There was a couple other styrofoam pieces as like buffer. And then trying to open that piece up to just double check. There's nothing else. No power cords, no nothing, anything like that. Now here I go, try to open up the only like 1 layer not styrofoam, and whatever the hell you call it. Packaging thing. But it was really good. No damages. That's a good thing. It's something I learned when I'm selling my old servers as well. There's the NIC and the serial number pull out, the Ethernet MAC address. Yep, there I'm pulling out the serial and MAC address. We'll pull out. You can see me touch the unit. It was very ice cold. It was basically put up against the post on the porch, the deck, and it looked like it was like a big book. I'm just surprised to see how small. I knew the thing was smaller than other servers have had, but to have it be packed like that I'm shocked. And here's the pull-out of the server. It is about, I think, a decade plus old, early teens. These things were probably very expensive on the second hands, even at that point. And there I go again. Now I'm trying to figure out how to open this thing because it's too good to be true. So I'm trying to figure this out. At some point, I will figure this out. It just, again, I don't want to break anything, so I'm just going on the conservative path, just touching, killing, and yeah, I did get it to open with that black piece. Was the button. And you see inside the board, I think that's where the DRAC is for the out-of-band network management. That is the cover for the big silicon. That is an E3 CPU, which I think is the Xeon equivalent of the i3. So regardless, this thing is a powerhouse. I like to get another one for backup and actually spread more stuff out. I'm already spec'd up now in the summer of 25. And this is fully spec'd with 16 gigs of RAM. Some of the later generations can support up to 32, which is even more awesome. And again, there's that silicon. I think you saw the networking ports earlier. And there's the back of the unit. I don't know what that piece with the wrench thing, I'm assuming it's the DRAC, but don't quote me. I don't want to spread misinformation. There's the NIC port, the VGA, the power. Very basic, similar to the Think servers. The Dell and Lenovo / IBMs tend to not have the legacy ports like the HP does. There's the hard drive bay, the secondary hard drive bay with built-in screws, which is great because this is what I need to put in a spare SATA drive that I'm using to store the VMs. In this recording, there was one hard drive. After this recording, both drives are utilized. One for the intent was to run active virtual machines, and then the 1 terabyte was going to act as a backup, but it didn't work that way. As I'm learning to use Proxmox, it's not that as it appears. I've been experimenting which type of virtual machines. Oh, I'm sorry, I was supposed to say the foreign English, the virtual machine types, to get it all provisioned. It's been an experience. This thing's been in service since March. I had to set this up, get this going. So this server is pretty small. I knew that from looking at the pictures. It's basically intended for single applications, typically used in telecom, like voicemail, SIP, proxy servers, and stuff like that. So typically you don't need to remove the hard drive. If the hard drive fails, the whole thing's dead because there's not much other redundancies, which is fine. This is basically just an multiplex in a rack. That's kind of where I've been kind of downsizing and just prioritizing needs. I mean, if there's a real problem, I dealt with real problems before, so. And here's the networking cable, the NIC. It's going against my gigabit Cisco phone. It's a PC, basically. It's fine. It won't be doing that much. It was just to get the latest updates for the Proxmox side. As I'm booting this up, settings and all that, but since I'm at it, I tried to put the monitor that was closest to what was the original for that system. Oh wait, I just happen to have a Dell monitor of that vintage, so it was just purely coincidental. As I'm starting to boot up, trying to switch over to the thumb drive, and that takes a little bit because I just had to maneuver around the system. And then it's booting up on the hard drive, but I need to boot it off from a thumb drive. As you can tell, there's no optical drive, which is great because I'm trying to move away from all this optical garbage and move over to solid state using a thumb drive, using a program called Yumi, Y-U-M-I. It's basically a tool that you run in Windows that goes. It acts like an installer, and it requires administrative privileges. And you can, when you select the ISO images that are bootable, what it does is it makes copies the ISO and turns it into a bootable instance on basically running a script onto the thumb drive. So it makes it a lot easier. And it's, like I said, it's I've been searching for like the right one to use. I just had plugged it in, and now I'm going to try to get into the boot screen. This took a little bit. It took probably about 20 minutes, but what else am I going to say? There's the boot manager. It's kind of, I think it's got EFI on this instance. Yeah, it's EFI. The difference between BIOS and EFI is EFI's got a little more graphical stuff. And again, it's the modern bootloader for most operating systems. Argumentatively more modern, or some people may think it's more regressive, but I'm not going to do religious wars on this video. So as I'm just messing around here trying to get the right one, and now here I am in that Yumi screen, and now I'm going to click on our Linux ISOs. Yep, and then I'm going to highlight the Proxmox ISO. What was in that hard drive was actually a Zen server from Citrix, but it was okay, but I'm not using that. So you saw that earlier. And now it's going through its boot process, and typically, if you're familiar with Proxmox, depending on how you do it through GUI or not, I use the GUI. And I just sped up the process, so you don't have to see the whole process, because installing Proxmox is no different than installing any version. This is version 8.2, so the near latest version. And now I'm about to restart the system. And the system is not as loud as, say, the R700 series, the more 2U racks, or the more CPUs. This is the perfect one where you can get at least the performance of a fractional performance without the high price tag. This is me looking at the this is, I think, the integrated management, not DRAC per se. I did play around with it later on, but it's I've not fired that up entirely just yet. Alright, so now I still look at the Proxmox VX instance that's running on that hard drive, and it takes a little bit to boot up because it's really running Debian Linux underneath. You can see the small text barely up there, and it's within a few seconds it's going to get me to the login screen. And at that point, the rest is history. And that, my friends, is the Dell not the OptiPlex, the Dell PowerEdge R210